All right, what is a brief focused assessment? In cases that involve custody, highly disputed custody issues, visitation, children, there are mediators in place that courthouses provide, but brief focused assessment is something where both parties are paying money to a psychologist who is licensed to do exactly these type of assessments by taking the time to speak to the children, to speak to the parents, to speak to collaterals such as teachers, psychologists, or children therapists, assuming the parents waived confidentiality and the children are under 12, or if they're over 12, waived confidentiality to allow the custody evaluator to speak to the therapist. Basically, it's a way of evaluating the situation and what's best for the children in a paced, leveled manner. Whereas in the courthouse, when there's a huge turnaround and the family court facilitator might not have as much skill or time or both to go through a very detailed evaluation. And again, the court version is free, meaning you don't have to pay money for it from out of pocket, aside from paying for the petition, the $500 and whatever filing fees, versus brief focused assessment can be easily $7,000, $10,000. What is brief focused assessment not? It's not custody evaluation. Custody evaluation can take a year. It can involve a lot of discovery, a lot of reading on custody evaluator's side. And I created this book to help you understand the divorce process without getting lost or without getting a heart attack. You can buy it on Amazon in all formats, including audio format. How do we prepare for this? First of all, when we have a custody evaluation, brief focus assessment, we prepare a folder that we think our custody evaluator would need in order to assess the situation properly. So if there are domestic violence restraining orders filed, we provide that. If there are pictures that we see that the other parent is abusing the children or the child, or videos or text messages, we provide that. Are there any filings under penalty of perjury by either parent that we think will help to understand the situation better, or from a therapist? So we provide a folder with all that information. And usually the brief focused assessment it's called 730 expert. It's a neutral expert, which means that expert is going to assess what's in the best interest of the children. This expert could be limited in scope. We could say only for custody, visitation. Sometimes we can expand the scope to say school choice, or relocation. If one parent wants to relocate, would it be in the best interest of the children to take the children to another state, another country? I would say whenever a highly contested matter is involved, it's always better to have someone who is privately paid and spend significant amount of time to get to understand the intricacies of each family's needs, children's needs, the totality. Sometimes the custody evaluator could order psychological evaluation by the parent. So it's also another thing to consider. The child custody evaluator could make recommendations that are within the scope that either parent goes in therapy that is focused on resolving anger or agony issues against the other parent. So these things help the court, the judge, who doesn't have the time to spend on each family to understand what's going on, to make a decision. So if one parent asks to relocate, the judge gets 1-2 days for the trial to talk about each parent situation, why they're relocating, or why the other parent doesn't want the parent to relocate. But what the judge usually doesn't do, and it's not something that family court system is designed for, is to interview the children. The judge is not going to allow to put the child on the stand. And if the children are above 14, they have a right to speak. And that's when a psychologist, skilled person, professional can speak to the child to find out how that would affect their social life, or how it would improve their social life if they left with the other parent. So basically get into the bottom of really all the issues of custody, best interest of the child or the children. So if the case has the money and the time, custody evaluation is going to include vacation time, many other things, because it's more expensive and expanded to many issues. And brief focused evaluation could be only focused on brief amount of time, brief amount of issues, and limited scope in terms of time, money, and everything else. So you can decide what's better for your situation. It's usually what most of the cases we do, we just opt out for brief focus assessment. I hope this video was helpful. I'll see you soon. Bye.